I've always been kind of fascinated by the whole unintentional sin thing.
Oh, yeah?
Like, what happens when you mess up, even if you didn't mean to?
Interesting.
So today, we're going to explore that through the lens of Leviticus chapter 4.
Okay.
We're diving into an insightful piece from My Christian Space.
Okay.
They break down the chapter verse by verse.
Nice.
And it's amazing how these ancient texts can still offer so much food for thought.
Absolutely, yeah.
Even after all these years.
Thousands of years later.
Thousands of years, yeah.
And what's so striking about this chapter is how much emphasis it puts on staying right with God. Like even messing up accidentally, if it goes against his commandments.
Yeah.
You need atonement.
Interesting.
It even says, brought guilt on the people.
Oh, wow.
It's like a ripple effect, you know?
It's like one person's slip-up could throw everything off for the whole community.
Oh, exactly.
Makes you think about how they live their daily lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Like always knowing there could be consequences.
Constantly aware of it, probably.
Right.
And you can see that sense of responsibility and how their sacrifices worked.
Okay.
It's in Leviticus.
Right.
It wasn't one size fits all. They had like a whole system
A system of what?
of offerings.
Oh, okay.
Each one was tailored to like your place in society.
What do you mean tailored? Like what?
Well, if you were a priest, for example, closer to God, right?
Yeah.
And you sinned, even by accident,
Okay.
you had to offer a bull.
A bowl.
A bull, they call it a greater sacrifice.
Oh.
Shows how serious it was, you know, for a priest to mess up.
So the higher up you were,
Yeah.
the higher the stakes.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
And it wasn't just about like how much the animal was worth.
Right.
Bulls have always represented strength, power.
Oh, interesting.
So offering one up, it's
Yeah.
like acknowledging how powerful God is,
Uh-huh.
trying to make it right,
I see.
make amends, you know?
It's like saying, we get it. This was a big deal, so we're giving you something big to fix it. Yeah, exactly.
And this whole ritual, it's not just like a quick, sorry, please forgive me.
Oh, no.
It's more involved than that.
Way more.
Right.
It's a whole, like, performance
Oh, wow.
with sensory stuff going on, you know?
What kind of sensory stuff?
Well, for example, they would sprinkle blood,
Oh, okay.
but not just any which way. 7 times.
7.
7
Not
times.
7.
7's a big deal in the Bible, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like completeness or something.
Yeah, perfection, wholeness.
Right.
So sprinkling 7 times,
Right.
it's like a complete effort to fix things, you know?
To like wipe the slate clean.
Cleanse it totally.
Yeah.
No holding back.
I gotcha.
Like saying, we're doing everything we can to make this right.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just any blood. either.
Right. Right.
It has to be from a specific spot,
Mm.
the place of life, you know?
Oh, wow. That's powerful.
It is, isn't it? Even today, we still talk about blood oaths.
Yeah. Blood brothers and stuff. Exactly. It shows how deep that idea of blood is, like a sacred bond.
Yeah, it's like primal,
Primal. Yeah.
like deep down inside us.
Exactly.
So we've got the offering itself,
Right.
specific blood,
Uh-huh.
but then they also burn certain parts of it,
Yes.
while others are, like, tossed aside.
Right.
What's that about?
It's almost like separating the good from the bad, physically.
So it's not just getting rid of the animal.
No, it's deeper.
It's like a cleansing ritual.
Exactly. And they did it outside the camp, too.
Outside, like to get the bad stuff away.
Like a quarantine, you know?
Yeah.
Keep the contamination away from everyone else.
Protect the community.
Exactly. And that's a big theme in Leviticus.
This idea of purity,
Purity. Yeah.
keeping things sacred,
Protecting that connection with God.
makes you wonder how much of that mindset is still around today,
Yeah, good point.
like, and how we think about right and wrong.
How we act towards each other.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
It really makes you think.
So we've talked about the overall idea,
Yeah.
this whole system of atonement,
Right.
but you mentioned something about different offerings for leaders
Oh, yeah.
and individuals.
Right. Let's dive into that.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So, if a leader, like a chieftain or something, messed up, even accidentally,
Okay,
he had to offer a male goat.
a male goat. Okay.
But for everyone else,
Yeah.
it was a female goat or a lamb.
Interesting.
Makes you think, huh?
It does. Male goat for a leader, female goat or a lamb for regular folks.
Right. Why that difference?
I don't know, but it's definitely got some deeper meaning.
Oh, absolutely.
Something about how they saw gender roles, maybe.
Maybe. Or the importance of leaders.
Good point.
Lots to think about there.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
As you go through Leviticus chapter 4, this idea of a substitute offering pops up.
Wait, hold on. A substitute?
Yeah.
You mean like instead of the person who sinned,
Hey.
someone else offers something?
Right. It's subtle at first, but it's a big shift.
I can imagine.
The text starts talking about someone else, like a lamb.
Okay.
A perfect lamb. No flaws.
Right.
Taking the blame, taking the burden of that sin.
Wow, that's heavy.
It is, isn't it?
Like taking the hit for someone else.
Exactly. And that idea, substitutionary atonement, they call it.
Never heard that before.
It becomes really important as the Bible goes on.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
It foreshadows Jesus, right?
You mean like him dying for our sins?
Exactly. Taking on that judgment for all of humanity.
Whoa, okay, we're getting into some deep stuff now.
We are, but that's the beauty of these texts.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot at once.
Like what?
On the surface, it's about these rituals, right?
Right.
But underneath, it's about these huge questions.
Like what?
Sin, guilt, forgiveness,
Uh-huh.
our relationship with God.
So it's not just some ancient goat sacrifice.
No, not at all.
It's about stuff we still struggle with today.
Exactly. That's what makes them relevant.
Makes total sense.
It's a window into how people thousands of years ago
Yeah.
dealt with the same stuff we do.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is, isn't it? But let's get back to the specifics of Leviticus for a second.
Okay.
They weren't just grabbing any old lamb for this, you know?
Right, there were rules.
Oh, yeah, the text is super detailed.
Like what?
It had to be female without defect.
Without defect.
Makes you wonder what they meant by that, right?
Was it just physical?
Yeah, or like a spiritual thing, too.
Like they needed a perfect offering to make up for their imperfections.
Yeah, interesting. Right.
It makes you think about how they saw God.
What did they think he demanded?
Right.
It shows how much respect they had.
Yeah.
And how much they wanted to fix things.
And it's not just the offering itself.
Right.
They had instructions for how the priest handled it too.
Very specific steps.
Yeah, like with the blood.
Oh, yeah, the sprinkling.
It wasn't just splattering it around.
No, very precise.
They had to sprinkle it on the horns of the altar.
Oh, the horns, those were important, right?
Yeah, you see them all over the Bible.
Represent tower, right.
Power, connection to God.
So putting the blood there,
Uh-huh.
it's like a direct plea to God.
Exactly. Look, we messed up. Here's our offering to reconnect.
Yeah, powerful stuff.
It is. And they even talk about the smell.
The smell.
Yeah, when they burn the fat.
Oh.
The text says it's a fragrant aroma for Adonai.
Adonai, what's that?
Oh, that's one of the names for God in Hebrew.
Oh.
It's usually translated as Lord.
Okay, I see.
So burning that fat, making it smell good, it's like another offering.
Appealing to his sense of smell. Interesting.
Right. They used all the senses,
touch, smell.
engaging with God on every level.
Wow, they really put thought into this.
They did. It wasn't just going through the motions.
Yeah.
It was a performance with a purpose.
Atonement.
Exactly.
Okay, so I've got the offering,
Yeah.
the blood, the burning, the smell.
But what about the person who actually sinned?
Oh, good question.
What happens to them?
Do they just get off scot-free?
Right, because they did the ritual.
Well, the text says the priest, the Cohen.
Cohen.
Yeah, that's the Hebrew word for priest.
Okay.
So the Cohen makes atonement, and the person is forgiven.
But is that it?
That's the key question, isn't it?
Like, is it just saying, sorry, my bad, and everything's good?
Exactly.
Doesn't seem like it'd be that easy.
No, forgiveness here is more about restoring things.
Restoring.
Like balance, harmony,
I see.
admitting you did wrong, and taking steps to fix it.
It's not just saying sorry.
No.
It's making amends,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Understanding how your actions affected things.
Yeah, even the ones you didn't mean.
Taking responsibility.
And I think that's a really powerful message for us today.
How so?
I mean, we live in a world where it's easy to brush things off.
Yeah, like our mistakes don't really matter.
Exactly.
Your choices don't have consequences.
But this whole atonement system,
Yeah.
it reminds us that even small actions can have big ripples.
It's like a reminder to be more mindful.
Right.
Even though we don't have priests and lambs anymore.
The principle is still there.
Our actions matter.
They do.
We have to make things right when we mess up.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's deep.
It is, and it leads to a question I think is worth considering.
What's that?
If unintentional actions were such a big deal back then,
Yeah.
how should we approach our own responsibility?
Good question.
The impact of our choices, even the little ones.
That's definitely something to think about.
It is, isn't it?
Makes you wonder if we've become a little too careless.
Yeah, maybe we don't take it seriously enough anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to be thinking about that one for a while.
Me too. It's a testament to how powerful these texts are.
Yeah,
They can still challenge us, make us see things differently.
I agree. That's what I love about these deep dives.
Me too.
We get to explore these ancient ideas.
And see how they connect to us today.
And one thing that really got me thinking was that substitute offering.
Oh yeah, the lamb.
It's like they were hinting at something bigger,
It foreshadows Jesus, doesn't it?
taking on the burden for everyone else.
Exactly. It's a powerful idea.
It is, and it shows that we're not just talking about some old rituals here.
No, it's about bigger concepts.
Guilt, responsibility, forgiveness,
That relationship with God.
stuff we still wrestle with today.
Absolutely. That's what keeps these ancient texts alive.
They speak to us across thousands of years.
And they make us think about our own lives.
Our choices, the impact we have.
Even when we don't mean to mess up.
That's one of the big takeaways for me.
Me too. It's a call to be more mindful.
Pay attention to our actions.
Because even small things can have big consequences.
It's like Leviticus is still teaching us about responsibility.
Even after all this time.
And even though we don't offer up bulls and goats anymore,
The idea is still there.
we have to make things right when we mess up.
Seek forgiveness, restore that balance.
It's a part of being human, I guess.
I think so.
Well, that was quite a journey through Leviticus chapter 4.
It was. Lots to think about.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
And for everyone listening, until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those minds open.